Imagine this. It's the 1980s. Michael Jordan is tearing up the basketball scene. He's winning back-to-back MVPs. He's breaking records, and he's winning every single championship. He has a great team around him, great coaches. And when you're at that level, the endorsements and the sponsorships are limitless. But there's one sponsorship that Michael Jordan took that changed the world. That one was Nike. Nike took Michael Jordan and many other basketball players as a rookie in the mid-'80s. Now, in the mid-'80s, sneakers looked like this. They were very simple, very plain. Now, in the mid-'80s, there was a rise in sneakers. As we can see in the middle, there were some more colors added as opposed to the 70s where sneakers were just white and plain. But there was a lot of improvement to do. The first big change we saw was in 1987 when Michael Jordan dropped his own first pair of Jordan 1s. This was revolutionary. Not only was it a high top shoe, but it was an athlete that had their own shoe. It was unheard of. No person had their own shoe to their name. It was always a company like Nike, Adidas, Fila. They were always dropping shoes, never an athlete. But when Michael Jordan worked together with Nike to create Jordan, the world saw a new way of shoes. The creation of Jordan inspired many athletes and celebrities to get into the shoe world. For example, if you look at the top left, that is Kobe Bryant's first shoe. Kobe Bryant started a whole Mamba world with Nike, and that also exponentially increased the shoe world. When you see Reebok, they worked with Jay-Z. Jay-Z created his own shoes, and then Nike. At first, Kanye worked with Nike, but he also moved on to Adidas to create his own Yeezys. Now, when you look at this, the sneaker world, this is what changed the sneaker world. The sneaker world was very, very small when we go back to the 80s right here. Sneakers were just something you'd wear. It was nothing to show off, nothing to be proud of. They were just something you put on and not think about. But when you got to this stage right here, that is a part of your identity. Sneakers became so important to people that they would wait outside for hours and hours just to get their hands on a single pair of shoes that they didn't even know would fit them or whatever. This is what really saw the growth of the sneaker world. Now, when there's growth, there's also a lot of other options that come in. For example, you take brands like Off-White, that's seen in top left and bottom right, and Supreme, as seen in the top right, and Bape, as seen as the bottom left. All of these are like regularly clothing brands. They combine a market of hypebeast clothing, which is another topic, but they delved into the shoe world, and that was also very successful for them and the reselling market. These Off-Whites at the top left, they started for about maybe $150, but when you can generate hype like Off-White, like a brand like that can do, or when you can generate hype like these Yeezys at the bottom can do, or as Jay-Z could do back in the 2000s, these prices exponentially multiply when you're reselling them. These Off-White Prestos, they're called, they could resell for $750 to $800. That is a 400% return. These Supreme Air Forces, they retailed at $90 back in December. Now you can't buy them for less than $400. The sneaker world really changed. Now, one thing that really helped the growth is reselling. Reselling, for example, from StockX, from Go, from Bump. These are just three of countless examples of reselling. The sneaker world was not a place where you would buy your shoes and sell them to another person. Back in the 80s, that was unheard of. But when you got to the early 2000s, 2010s, and now in 2021, every single week, thousands and thousands of people would buy shoes and trade them on a market that is now worth $1.5 billion. So I want you to think. This man right here, Michael Jordan, took one shoe right here and changed the entire world. This one shoe that at that time cost $75 is now propelling an industry that is worth $1.5 billion.